Okay, folks, get ready, because we're about to take a deep dive into the world of a pretty amazing creature,
Definitely.
a red-tailed hawk. Now, this is a bird you've probably seen, countless times, right?
Yeah.
Maybe soaring high above or just perched on a telephone pole,
Sure.
looking all majestic.
Absolutely.
But trust me, there's a lot more to these guys
Way
than
more.
just, those good looks and that scream they're known for.
Right. Yeah, I think their familiarity can sometimes make us overlook how really complex and fascinating these birds are.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
First, imagine we're walking through the woods,
Right.
and suddenly that piercing scream just rips through the air.
Sends chills right down your spine.
It does. It's like, oh, what was that?
Right.
Well, that's our red-tailed hawk kind of like announcing its presence,
Yeah.
saying, hey, I'm here.
I'm here.
But it's not just about intimidation.
Yeah.
This is a bird with a really striking appearance.
Yeah. Totally.
Starting with that iconic red tail.
You're right about that tail. Yeah, it's definitely a key identifier.
Oh.
But you'll only see that vibrant red on the adults, though, right?
Oh, interesting.
The young hawks, the juveniles, they sport like brownish tails with these horizontal bars.
Oh, good.
And what's really wild is that their plumage can actually vary depending on where they live and what time of year it is.
Oh, so they're like masters of disguise almost?
Talk about a bird that knows how to blend in, right?
So we're talking about a bird that's like adaptable in its looks.
Absolutely.
And that adaptability extends to where they choose to live.
Yeah.
These hawks can thrive almost anywhere. Deserts,
Yeah.
forests, even bustling cities.
Yeah.
It's funny, I actually feel like I see them more often perched on a light pole by the highway
Totally.
than, soaring high in the sky.
That's such a testament to their incredible adaptability, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're what we call opportunistic hunters, which means they're not picky eaters, and they can really make the most of any environment.
I see.
You've probably seen squirrels raiding your bird feeder, trying to get away with those tasty seeds, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, a red-tailed hawk might be keeping that squirrel population in check.
Right in my backyard.
Right there in your neighborhood.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So their diet's a big part of how they fit into the ecosystem.
Huge part.
What exactly are they snacking on besides the squirrels?
They'll eat rodents, rabbits, squirrels, other birds, reptiles, even insects.
Wow, so they're not picky at all?
No, not at all. And this flexibility in their diet, that makes them incredibly important for maintaining ecological balance.
Okay.
Think of them as like nature's pest controllers,
Yeah.
Keeping those populations in check, making sure the ecosystem is healthy.
That makes a lot of sense. They're like the guardians of the neighborhood,
Totally.
keeping things in order.
Oh.
But that brings me to their vision, because they're not exactly up close when they're hunting, right?
Right.
Just how good is their eyesight?
Hold on tight, because this is where it gets really amazing, right?
Okay.
Their eyesight is about 8 times sharper than ours.
Wow.
Imagine being able to spot a tiny mouse scurrying through the grass from like hundreds of feet in the air.
Oh my gosh.
That's the level of visual acuity we're talking about here.
That's incredible.
It's absolutely essential for their hunting success, right?
8 times. That's amazing. I always thought that hawk scream in movies was a bit over the top, but knowing they can spot a mouse from that distance, I can totally see why they use it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's pretty intimidating.
For sure.
And it probably works.
Absolutely.
But speaking of that scream,
Yeah.
is that their only way of communicating?
Not at all.
Okay.
That iconic scream, which is often used in movies to represent any bird of prey, it isn't just for scaring unsuspecting moviegoers, They use it for a bunch of different things. Mating displays, defending their territory,
Oh, wow.
even just communicating with each other.
So it's like their multi-purpose tool, a warning,
Yeah,
a love song,
totally.
and a chat all rolled into one.
All in one.
All in one. But it makes me think, if they mate, are they the type to settle down, or are they more free spirits?
Actually, they're quite the romantics.
Oh,
Red-tailed
wow.
hawks are monogamous,
Okay.
often mating for life,
Oh,
and they're not afraid of commitment when it comes to their homes either.
okay.
They build these large stick nests, often reusing and reinforcing them year after year.
Wow, so they're pretty invested in their family life.
You could say that, yeah.
Wow, I had no idea they were such dedicated partners and parents.
Yeah,
That definitely adds a whole new dimension to their story.
for sure.
But you mentioned earlier that they're considered an indicator species.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
So think of the red-tailed hawk like a canary in a coal mine, you know? If their numbers start to decline, it could be a warning sign that something's wrong with the environment.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're at the top of the food chain, they're very sensitive to ecological disturbances.
I see.
It's like they're giving us a signal about the overall health of the ecosystem.
So they're not just cool birds, they're like living barometers for the environment.
Exactly.
That's amazing. We've learned so much today. Their looks, their hunting skills,
Yeah.
their family life, their role in the ecosystem.
It all makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You mentioned that they're incredibly adaptable, but are there limits to that adaptability?
Hmm?
How might climate change or habitat loss affect their survival in the long run?
That's a really important question to consider. It's a reminder that even though these birds are common, they're not invincible. And the next time we see a red-tailed hawk soaring overhead, we'll know there's a whole complex world behind those piercing eyes and powerful wings.
Absolutely. So much more than meets the eye.
Well, that's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was great to dive in with you.
Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world around you. You never know what amazing creatures you might discover.
And who knows what we'll be deep diving into next. Stay curious, everyone.
And see you then.
Bye!
Bye.